Hello, we are visionontv and we are at the Mozilla Festival at Ravensbourne College. And with me today I have Chris Clappenson from Buckeye Films. Chris, what are you doing here today?
Well, we're here to show our multi-rotor helicopter camera system. We're filmmakers, and we found a special way to maybe take our cameras to places that other jib arms or cranes can't.
Could you show us that?
So this is what we call the octocopter. And of course, you'll see the camera mounted underneath. That's a 5D, so of course we can shoot in high def. I'm going to put it down because it's a little bit heavy when the rotors aren't spinning. So I mean it has many different uses in film and documentary making and episodic television, as well as developers, real estate developers, architects, land surveyors, wildlife biologists. There's many different applications.
How easy is this thing to control?
It takes some practice. It's like patting your head and rubbing your stomach. You've got to do a few things at the same time.
I could imagine, yeah.
Of course, training begins on the computer with simulators, and then when you get brave enough, up it goes. And I would be lying to you if I said we haven't crashed here a couple of times. This is the third or fourth prototype, but now we're good. We don't crash.
How many years have gone into this project?
My partner, who's not with me today, is actually responsible, Nico Joliet, for assembling this. We did not, he likes to say we did not invent anything. Of course, we assembled something. And he began about a year and a half ago. Nico himself is a filmmaker, and he found himself in many situations quite simply with great opportunities, but he didn't have a camera that could fly. So he said to himself, well, one day I wish my camera could fly. And he's very talented technically, so for about a year and a half he went away, and he went into the open source community and started to look at more hobbyists that were building this. And because he's a filmmaker first and has a very strong grasp of technology, he put the two together. So now together I produce and he directs and pilots.
So how expensive is this machine? Is this something you could pick up from a handy store, give it a couple of years?
It's a very good question, because I think in a couple of years, yes. They already do exist at the consumer level, but they're much less sophisticated. For example, all of our stuff is mounted with gyros. So of course, if the helicopter is moving this way, the gyro will compensate this way to keep the camera level. That kind of technology at the consumer level, not quite yet. But there are applications, or there are products that come fully constructed. But we prefer to build our own.
This seems something like James Cameron would be absolutely amazed by. Is there any documentaries or similar movies it's been used for yet?
There is a lot of course, there's lots of aerial cinematography going on right now. I think the difference now in the last year is it's become accessible to a market that previously, of course, you know, for smaller productions when you cannot rent a helicopter. But now this is possible. Yeah.
So, have you been synergizing, working together with some of the other people here at the festival?
Well, one of the big reason we're here actually is we went out yesterday in London to Twickenham, and the borough of Twickenham was kind enough to give us a permit to fly above one of their historic sites, the York House, and they will be taking the footage from York House and giving it to the Popcorn Lab. So as much as I understand, the Popcorn Lab is a layer of code that they will embed in the video signal, which enables the viewer to see metadata that is collected from what you are looking at. So for example, if there was somebody standing there and the helicopter flew over and filmed this person, and we had their Twitter feed, every time we watched the film, that part of that bit of code would take that from the Twitter feed and publish it. And of course, you'd have to talk to the popcorn guys, but that is the tiniest fraction of capabilities of popcorn. But really, it's a layer to acquire metadata associated with what the camera is seeing.
Is there a website or something where our viewers can learn more about both the octocopter, octocamera, or your projects?
The URL is Bugeye Films, B-U-G-E-Y-E Films, all one word, .com. So we have our work on there and a little explanation. It's all happening quite quickly. So the website right now is small, but it does showcase the work.
Do you do other projects than just engineering these little wonders?
Well, the engineering, of course, is where it all starts. But we're not interested in manufacturing helicopters or helicams at scale. We're filmmakers first. So yes, we're working on a number of different projects right now. My partner Nico just came back from Africa where he was working for a television series there. And we've worked for real estate who are putting buildings up, and as I mentioned before, need to showcase before the buildings are built what a different perspective would look like at the 15th floor from the southwest corner. And because we have quite accurate abilities, for example, we can take the plans from the architects, the geopoints, and program that into the machine, and it fly precisely up to where the geopoint is and give perspective at whatever level. So every day when we're out filming and flying, we have more and more possibilities opening up to us. So.
Is there a final comment you'd like to give before we round off?
I'm just excited to be here. For us, like I said, being filmmakers first, we're out so far in a fairly traditional sense, using the cameras mostly to make beautiful pictures and tell stories. When you layer over technology, this is a whole other dimension. For example, the popcorn stuff that I spoke of. And this is another part of our brain that it's activating. So we're just thrilled to be here, and I'm excited to see what happens when they take our footage and actually overlay popcorn to it. It's going to be fabulous for us.
We're looking forward to that as well, and thanks so much for having this interview. Again, we are visionontv. We are sitting in the social lounge at Ravensbourne College at the Mozilla Festival. Have a good evening.